Merry Christmas, Cancer. It's December 2017. I hope the year has panned out well for you. Let's take a look now at what this final phase of 2017 is likely to bring you in terms of the aspects of the planets, the transits. You notice straight away this strong conjunction here in the 6th house of your horoscope, which has to do with your health, with your well-being. It has a lot to do with your professional activities as well, given that the Sun is the natural ruler of profession, and it actually has to do with your 2nd house of income. Saturn here is your partnerships, and again, part ruler of your 8th house of shared resources. And Mercury is the house ruler of expense and communication and negotiations. So you can see here the strong power here. There's a favourable influence here from Uranus as the month commences, with the moon transiting the 11th house of profits. But here we see Venus also moving into this area with that powerful full moon around the 3rd, again triggering and accentuating what's going on in this part of your horoscope. We have to look at this. Where there is a preponderance of planets in one area, that is going to be a dominant theme for you throughout the month. And I dare say that debts, and have a look at this, Mercury, this expense ruler, negotiation ruler, stationary. Then it does what everyone fears. It goes into retrograde motion. Actually, this full moon occurs here. I'm a naughty astrologer. I'm not getting my facts right. It's actually after the 3rd and 4th here that we see the moon transiting this expense sector, while you see the stationary Mercury there, then going retrograde. You've got to watch your expenses leading up to Christmas this year, Cancer. This looks intense, and these elements also indicate to me the problem you may experience with the interrelated work, money and the health points. Here it is, retrograde, 4 planets in this area. Mind you also, this has to do with enemies, so you need to be careful that you're not getting the wrong people on the wrong side. There's some square aspects here from the moon which relate to speculation with Jupiter in your 5th house, and have a look here soon after. Mars also enters into this area. Square aspects here, wastefulness, spending money you don't have at a time when you've already got all this happening. It's the 2nd house of income. Square aspects to the 11th house here. That's your profitability. There are some nice aspects here too that pan out. You've got to be careful. You might be actually speculating in a way to try to pay off some of those debts. I'm interested in this Mars aspect. This is lucky for you when these 2 planets combine. When Mars and Jupiter come together, and then the moon also comes into this area, that's the time I'd be taking a gamble. Why is that? Because Mars is the ruler of the 5th house. It's the ruler of the 10th house. And Jupiter is the ruler of the 9th house along with the 6th house. So this is what we call a kingly, well, let's call it a princely combination. Well, you can be a little bit lucky here. This is also your romance and love affairs, especially when the moon swings around here. See the dates here, the 11th. This will be around the 13th or 14th. We see also here an important transit. I want you to keep your eyes on this Saturn movement. But for the time being, here we've got the moon. This is an important combination around the 14th and 15th, with the moon combining with Mars, making you impulsive, making you turn everything up louder than everything else. We see here love, romance. Children can also feature strongly at this time, because this is the 5th house associated with that. Mars, Jupiter, moon also relate to, in this area, a stronger expression of your creative impulses. See everything here though converging on this area of the zodiac. 5th, 6th, speculation, loss, love affairs, health, hard work, pushing your brain to its limits. Now, I want you to take a look here. A couple of important celestial factors take place towards the end of the month here, 15th, 16th. You're going to have, firstly, I'll give you a hint, you're going to have Saturn move out of here. You're going to have the moon, new moon, in the same position, and then Mercury is going to go direct. So have a look here. Just here, you've got the conjunction of the moon with retrograde Mercury. This is creating a revisionary approach to all of these affairs we mentioned. You're going to have to think over things, go over some old ground. There may have been some errors you've made, errors of judgment, errors of planning, errors of expenditure. But here you've got the opportunity to turn over a new leaf, which is what the new moon is about. And also the impactful Saturn in this area. This could weigh heavily upon your mind just around here, the 19th, 20th, because the moon and Saturn combination is not a particularly upbeat transit. And of course you've got the sun moving into the conjunction of Saturn around the 20th, which brings with it additional responsibility, intensity of feeling, especially in your relationships with Moon and Pluto here. So you've got to be careful at this time. Best to back off a little bit and wait till this Mercury goes forward, which you'll see happens here pretty quickly. Around the time, there's Saturn moving, big transit. First movement out of sign for around 2.5 years. That's around the 20th, 21st, followed up by that stationary forward movement of Mercury. Now Saturn's going to present its own issues here, moving through your 7th house. This is the start of a new 2.5 year cycle for you. Marriage, relationships, business partnerships are all going to come into focus at this time. Venus, let's have a look where the Venus, I think Venus even moves into this 7th house. So you can see how the shift has occurred here from the 6th house moving now into the 7th house. Here the stationary forward movement of Mercury means that you can get your communications back on track, and you're going to need that with Saturn here showing additional responsibility to the person you love. Venus in the 6th house can show health issues that are related to your partner at that time. Christmas time, an intense period, mixed results here with people that you come in contact with. Could even be family members. You see Venus is ruling your 4th house of family, and this is all Christmas, Boxing Day, 28th, 29th, rather erratic date here with Venus, with the moon and Uranus in your 10th house of career. Maybe some concerns over that, but this shows you're very plugged in to people, to others, and with Mercury moving forward, your communication with those said people should be much better as the year 2017 comes to a close. But that's not the end of it. You know, time keeps going, and I'll be back again January with the New Year forecast for 2018. I hope you've joined me then. In the meantime, do click over to astrology.com.au to take a look at what I've got happening there. Lots more information in a whole new range of areas that you wouldn't expect. I'm not going to tell you too much. You've got to go there. And until next month, have a good one. Safe, Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.